Hello people, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. This is Sorin and get ready to be milked again. That's what this video is gonna be all about. We just finished 56 TP marathon and we're going to consider, let's add back the assembly shop. And if you ask me, I remember having the assembly shop quite not so long ago. It was I think 6 months. So yeah, having another marathon where I have to spend all of your resources pretty much, this is gonna be very nice for wargaming because people are having the fear of missing out. Those vehicles were never sold again, so people wants to get their unique vehicles. This time we have from the 3rd of August, which means tomorrow I think, through the August 10, there's gonna be obviously the assembly shop where we have to craft with this vehicle. This is a tier 10 German heavy tank, and there are going to be 75,000 of these limited edition tanks. And the first 25,000 will get an awesome number 3D style, the same as the Lion, the 780, and other vehicle that used to be in this marathon. Actually, not marathon, this assembly shop. But considering we are playing in the EU server, there are roughly 220 something players active, which means 1 in 3 are gonna get this vehicle, and therefore only the whales, to say so, are gonna be able to buy this vehicle. The players that are very dedicated, and therefore the players that do not have currency, they're playing the game for so little, yeah, they're not gonna really have the chance to get it, will they? So let's watch the wargaming material. Hopefully we had this
alongside the production of the first Leopards in the 1960s. Their engineers were also developing a next generation tank. One that was sturdier and more powerful.
What's that gonna be? Is it gonna be the
vehicle
project?
that would have more armor, but keep its predecessor's mobility and sniper accuracy. This resulted in the Kampfpanzer 07 PE. One of the progenitors
for a
of the
1960 is looking very modern.
A new tank in the World of Tanks assembly shop. You can get it from August 3rd through August 9th, but the vehicles will probably be gone by then.
Yeah, they're gonna be probably gone by the first
and the first
12 hours.
Comes with a 3D style and a unique number for each vehicle. Here's what makes this tank worth fighting for.
Okay, by the looks of it, if if you shoot, that's the main. When wargaming says, get ready to see what you are fighting for, or whatever they said. Yeah, you can rock everyone. That's wargaming's intro.
The Kampfpanzer 07 PE is 17 tons heavier than the Leopard 1,
Jokes aside,
and there's a reason why. Its turret is strong, and with gun depression of -8 degrees,
8 degrees is workable on any map. It's very comfortable.
Terrain. However, it has its weak spots. The turret can be penetrated through to the cupola or roof. It's positioned at a ricochet angle, but that won't stop a heat shell or any other high-caliber shell. With its good armor, the turret still has excellent rotation speed and doesn't feel sluggish. But there's more to it than just the turret. After all, tanks generally have a hull under their turret, too. The hull here isn't super heavy, but it can deflect some shells. You can expose your 70mm sides at a sharp angle, but the enemy can aim at the upper glacis plate or engine.
Also, it has an engine deck, yeah.
The front blade is not just for decoration. It protects the upper glacis well, especially against heat shells. Any heat shells. Nothing can penetrate the hull's center, but powerful APCR shells can still pierce its upper part.
How are those calculated?
As for the lower glacis, well, just hide it or expose it at a sharp angle to bait the enemy to take a shot. Don't leave it without cover. All in all.
Alright, so with this shovel there are going to be a lot of awesome and epic guys fans that probably they want to get this vehicle just because of the shovel. But other than that, the vehicle on paper looks kind of incredible. We're gonna have a dedicated video where I'm gonna review this because I don't want this video to make it as long.
Won't protect against
so
everything,
there are gonna be 2 parts pretty much.
Just what you need for a very maneuverable heavy tank. For those who are going to play in the Kampfpanzer without the turbocharger, there's a special decal with a speed limit. You not only can, but should turbocharge this tank. Its maximum speed reaches 55 kilometers per hour, 50 of which it gains quickly and holds confidently. The tank also traverses well and has a reasonable reverse speed. Overall, its mobility is comparable to that of the Object 277 or the Concept 1B. This German.
So for the people that like that Object 277, the vehicle doesn't have the gun depression. The 277 is limited to, I think, minus 5.5 degrees, which means this vehicle is gonna be much better than a 277.
Almost keep pace with medium tanks too. It's one of the first to take positions and can switch flanks or overtake elusive prey. And the Kampfpanzer sure has teeth to bite it with.
Ooh.
The gun causes 410 HP of damage and has good damage per minute. In the right configuration, the Kampfpanzer can upset an opponent every 8 seconds. Its penetration allows for this, especially with standard APCR shells. If you aim at weak spots, you won't need special shells. And if you face a paper-thin opponent, then you'll be handing them a one-way ticket to the garage. Also, don't forget to train intuition to quickly switch between APCR, heat, and HE shells depending on the situation.
Yeah, that's
the
a really
gun's
good
best
skill to have.
qualities are its final accuracy and almost instant aiming. This is where our hero shows the best traits of the feline family. Such comfortable gun handling allows the stabilizer to be dropped in favor of the turbocharger, gun rammer, and improved hardening or the survival improvement suite. The latter will also fix the situation with the ammo rack. Good view range and an accurate gun, a combination of armor and mobility. These are what gives the Kampfpanzer its freedom. Real freedom to play by its own rules and choose its own path. At the same time, its interesting look and unique number give it an air of exclusivity. This rare beast is worth it. You can get it in the assembly shop using the currencies of your choice. But keep in mind that investing credits is not as advantageous as investing other resources. Use the special widget on the game website to check in advance what you want to spend and how much. Because when the event starts, not everyone will manage to grab a tank with a style and a number. From August 3rd, look for the assembly shop in your garage and get the Kampfpanzer 07 PE.
Okay, that's the video. That's a very nice outro. That's gonna be probably the thumbnail. The question is, the assembly shows there's gonna be 25,000 vehicles with the 3D style, 75,000 in total. As I said, 1 in 3 people are gonna get it on the European server due to my well, not really to my calculation, due to active base, but probably it's 1 in 5 or 1 in 4. And obviously, if those people are gonna have the currencies. Next, the combine and different ratios of the resources: free experience, gold, fragments, bonds, and credits. So let's see what we can play over here. Okay, what's this? This is an by the looks of it, it's something interesting. I don't know why it shows like this information button that is not working, but it is what it is. So 32 nation fragments for 1%. That's gonna be 3,200 fragments for 100%. Oh, that's a lot of fragments. 50k bond. Is that 50k bonds? Yeah, probably. Let's see. 100. No, I want this to be 0. Why is it not working? The numpad is not working. Okay, probably I have to do this manually. Yes, I do have to do it manually. Unfortunately, this is gonna be, I think, 1 million credit, 1 million experience. Yeah, those are gonna be plenty of resources. So if you don't have the resources, probably I think you can get them back. Yeah, I think that's how things are gonna happen. So that's 1 million. Yeah, that's 1 million free experience, which means yeah, quite a lot of free experience. If you convert it, I think it's still a lot. I think it's over 150 euros or something like that worth of free experience, worth of gold if you consider it. I think that's 55k gold, 125 million credits. I think the credits are not gonna be worth it. So probably if you want to, get 3, 4, 5% maximum with credits, but 1.25 million credits is too much. It's like let's say average of 2 hours worth of grinding with premium tank and obviously the premium count and boosters. So roughly 200 hours of hard grinding in the tier 8 premium with credits and then good, and of course with boosters. So that's kind of a lot of grinding. What about the free experience? 1 million free experience, you get it in roughly let's say you get 100 per match, which means 100 free experience per match. Is that right? No, let's say an average of, how much is that, 5%? of base plus the boosters. Let's say you get an average of 2-3k per hour, which means every 4 hours you get 1% and therefore 400 hours of gameplay. But obviously those things you can stack and so on and so forth. So once again, with free experience, maybe it's gonna be the main currency, but yeah, there's still plenty of free experience. If you haven't finished the game, it will be a heartbreak for you, because obviously the people that finish the game don't need the free experience for researching modules and so on and so forth. In terms of the gold, 55k gold, that's outrageous amount of gold. I think that's once again around 200 euros, so that's gonna be very expensive. 50k bonds, chieftain amount of gold, but I don't know what to say with the bonds, because this vehicle, to me, it looks like a one-to-one with a chieftain. I cannot say more. I am gonna show you in the review of the vehicle. But obviously don't spend the bonds. It's very hard for me to tell you what is better to spend. I think it's the best for you to spend the resources that don't mean a lot to you, which probably is the one that you can farm throughout playing the game, which is like free experience, credits, and obviously if you have the money to spend in the game, probably still free experience but converted with gold when it's a 1:40 ratio, and probably gold as well. Universal fragments, obviously if you finish the game you don't need them anymore to research the tanks, those you can spend them freely, but it's still plenty of them. Of course you can get them through completing missions and so on and so forth, but it's still a headache to to craft them. So plenty of resources in my opinion, plenty for such a vehicle. In terms of characteristics, 14 alpha damage, 2200 base HP, which is among the lower side. Obviously the Crown Mag has 2000, whereas the vehicles like Mouse have 3000, so it's among the lower side, but it's still very good for a tank that doesn't have actually that has very good mobility like the Object 277. 410 alpha damage is very good because it gets you a good rate of fire. 270 APCR pen, that's very nice. It's the same as a Chieftain, and I think it's I think it's the same as a Leopard. Actually, I think it has 278 or something like that, but it's still very good. 320 hit, I think, or APCRs, but 320 is on the lower side. But obviously, the people that get this vehicle know how to aim, and they know what to runs to shoot, where to shoot, and so on and so forth. So obviously if you can make 320 meters, if you can make the Object 705 work, actually no, because this tank gets very good nice gun handling, so pretty much you can get 320 penetration to work, and on top of that 525 HP with 110 penetration, meaning you can one-shot artillery pieces. The commander, it's also a radio pair that's quite common. You have a gunner, a driver, and two loaders. That's very nice because you can train your crew respectively. Okay, so hit. APCR has really nice shell velocity. Hit and HE are kind of slow, but it's still very good for HE and hit rounds. 0.33 accuracy, that's very good base. 1.7 seconds aiming time, that's very nice. 45 ammunition, probably is durable. You will not run out of ammo. Gun reload is 9.5 base, which means you can get it down to 7, I think. -8 and 20 is very comfortable as well. Survivability, obviously you have 410 meters view range. That is, I think that's kind of, is it this gonna be the biggest one, the biggest view range on the heavy tank? Probably yes. It's more comparable to light tanks and mediums at this tier, but yeah, very flexible and very a tank that can do the things for itself. You can spot, you can do damage, you can bounce. So Wargaming added an interesting vehicle for the people to spend their hard-earned currencies on. Hull armor 160, 70 and 60, which means you can side scrape, but it has the deck. 160 on the hull, very interesting with the shovel. I think that's 30 or 40 meters. I'm not really sure. We have to take a look at tank GG. Turret armor is 190, but it has a big chunky mantle, mantlet. I think that mantlet. The cupola is small, but it's visible. It's not like on a chieftain where it's hidden as well. And in terms of mobility, 17 power to weight ratio, turning fast, good mobility, good reverse speed. I think this vehicle is Gucci. The vehicle looks very dope as well. It looks like a Leopard. I really like the look, the style as well. it has the blinkers, it has everything, but the style with 50 km/h. Okay, it has an interesting muzzle as well. Very good pictures, and okay, we are having over here something with, you know, they describe their vehicle, their versatility, and so on and so forth, but probably no one is gonna read them. Probably there are people that are reading them, but personally I do not. So yeah, this is the first look for the assembly shop, guys. As I mentioned in the first minute of the video, get ready to be milked again. That's what I have to say. The vehicle is looking very decent in my opinion, and stay tuned for the review. Therefore, this was Sorin. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you legends around.